Hi, my name is Julia Rosati, and throughout the course of my life, I have come to a realization. Those of you who prefer McDonald's over Wendy's, raise your hand. Now those of you who prefer Wendy's, raise your hand. I bet we've all argued before about which one's fries are better. There are 7.5 billion different people on this planet. That's 7.5 billion different opinions about which fast food restaurant is best. We could sit here all day and argue about which one's better overall, but the fact of the matter is, neither one of us is going to walk away with our minds changed. In other words, I'm not going to physically change your taste buds to prefer Wendy's over McDonald's. It just doesn't work like that. But why do we still argue? It's like we need to change each other's opinions to match our own, or give an explanation to why our opinion is right. We all want people to agree with us. Raise your hand if you ever told a joke and felt good when someone laughed at it. Or in other words, when they agreed with you. Ever since the start of school, I've been told to just be myself. But when I am myself, I'm bullied or told that myself is wrong, like whoever has been roasted before. Yeah. Arguments causes the lowering of self-esteem. They cause broken hearts, they cause fights. Arguments could even cause wars. If arguments do all this, why do we still argue? It's because we desire acceptance, or people by our side to agree with us. Why can't we just accept each other's differences, or even accept our own? I know everyone here tonight has something about themselves they want or wanted it to change. Like I, for one, wanted a nose job at a point in my life. I even wrote it on my Christmas list. Well, the point I'm trying to make is that we all have insecurities that we want to change in order to fit in. But we only have these differences or insecurities because of socially constructed norms. For example, if a boy showed up at school wearing a dress, unfortunately people would laugh and make fun of him. But why should we? I bet there's something about you people judge about too. No one is perfect, and maybe if we accepted that and each other's differences, wars can be prevented. Now I'm going to give you an example. If I were to play tug of war against someone that has the same physical characteristics as me and the same overall strength, we would keep on pulling until either one of us gives up or passes out. Just like in an argument. Arguments end when someone gives up or it escalates into a fight. Let's say me and my hypothetical twin keep pulling on that rope. Eventually it would break. Just like if we were to continuously argue about which fast food restaurant is best, we would eventually break. We would eventually be distancing ourselves from each other, just like the two halves of the rope after it snaps. Now, I'm going to stop throwing words at your face and I'm going to start throwing numbers. In the US alone, 30,000 Americans have killed themselves each year. If you're not shocked by that number, the third main cause of death for 15 to 24-year-olds is suicide. If you still aren't horrified, every 16 minutes, someone commits suicide. I hate talking about this because it makes me sad. It makes me wonder, why do they do this? So I Googled it. The second main cause for suicide for 15 to 24-year-olds is bullying. You might be wondering, why is she bringing this up? But bullying is picking on someone for their differences. What drove that person to kill himself is the fact that someone was attacking them for their differences. On a much larger scale, our government shows how we must choose sides. How our government is divided into two, Democrats and Republicans. I personally love talking about politics. I'm the one who brings it up at the dinner table during Thanksgiving. But even I know when it draws a line, like when my aunt starts firing her opinion back, or when everyone starts rolling their eyes and raising their voices. But as I said before, America is divided into two political parties, Democrats and Republicans. Has no one ever thought, why do we have to choose one? There's some things that I agree with Republicans and others that I agree with Democrats. Why do you have to choose one? I know there's an independent party, but why haven't they become president yet? The only independent president was George Washington. That's because he was the first. There were no political parties yet. And even George Washington in his farewell address stated that we have to be careful about creating political parties, because if we created them, wars will be created as well. And guess what? Political parties were made, and so was the Civil War. But that wasn't enough to destroy America, so here we are again with two political parties tearing America in two, just like the rope. If we were to stop this political party nonsense and vote for a president for their beliefs and not what party they're from, maybe America wouldn't be so divided. Just like if we were to accept each other for who we are, maybe us people wouldn't be so divided. Everyone from the TED Ed Club today has brought up a problem in our modern day worlds. They brought up something that barely anyone is trying to fix. However, I'm proposing a solution, and it's a very simple one. It's just to accept each other's differences, selves, opinions, and etc. The world could be a much better place if we just agree to disagree. Thank you and have a nice night.